I know. I did promise that I would go see the new Jungle Book. That one is coming. I promise. But let's see what's up for review today. Oh, I am not falling for that this time. What version is this? Return to Neverland? Hook? Hook? Please be Hook. Please be Hook. Please be Hook. Nutballs. Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the Great Master Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk Review. Disney isn't the only company remaking Disney classics these days, and after Hook's surprising success, why wouldn't someone want to take another jab at the Peter Pan franchise? And this movie actually really wanted to be a sort of Hook counterpart, this time diving into the origins of Peter Pan. Sounds good on paper, right? Well, unfortunately, this movie completely panned at the box office. Oh, come on, that one was funny. This is Pan. Shut up, that was funny. The movie starts by someone we don't know narrating, and the effects team playing with laser pointers. Some cheesy nonsense of the movie calling itself a prequel. We read the box. We know what this is. Get the movie started. Who's this lady? This lady got skills. It turns out to be a strictly by-the-books lady leaves baby on doorstep. Nothing special here. But I thought the story was that Peter ran away from his mother. Cut 2 years later and...
Dude, I can't take you seriously in that hat.
I know there's probably some cultural significance or something, but why do they look like that? Looks like a landing strip of sorts.
Where's the bacon? We always have bacon right over the weekend.
Please, sir. I want some more.
Thought we were watching a movie about Peter Pan, not Oliver.
Look, more empty seats. Nelson and Billy both got evacuated.
Lucky sods.
Both of them? When?
Dunno.
But it looks like we found ourselves a mystery.
So Peter spends his time in the orphanage, or whatever this is, causing little mischief here and there. Was that a dirty picture? None of it is interesting until he finally breaks into the records room.
Will you read it? I meant aloud.
I've heard that joke several times before, and this movie somehow makes it not funny.
Peter, everything I've done because I love you.
It's written with cheesy lines you could find on any Hallmark card, and...
Dude, busted.
They get chewed out by the old hag, and then... That was a bit of an abrupt scene change. 1 second she's threatening them, and the next, they're just chilling around like nothing happened. But it's time to get back to the mystery.
All the missing children. All that dough hidden in her office. What's Barnabas up to?
Over here, a clue.
I'd care more about these missing kids and this little subplot going on if we ever saw these missing kids. Talk to these missing kids. Are you certain that these kids were even real?
I'm a real boy!
That's what we have to find out. Now come on, let's make a plan.
But wouldn't you know it, they were abducted by Cirque du Soleil. And here you thought I was kidding. What am I supposed to be feeling during this scene? Are we supposed to be terrified that they're being abducted? Kind of hard to be terrified when the abductors are using such a ridiculous method of abduction. So on that note, is this supposed to be funny? Kind of hard to laugh when they're getting abducted by freaky people. These two things don't mix together, and we're left going, huh? Also, if they were planning on taking all the boys, why were they only taking 2 or 3 a night for the past week? Was the weather just not good for flying? So the flying ship takes off, with Peter on board, and we have a dogfight, with British pilots getting outmaneuvered and outmatched by a flying frigate. It's got a bunch of action, yes, but I just can't stop thinking how absurd all of this is. How is this ship outmaneuvering actual flying aircraft? And don't say magic. Magic can only go so far to make things believable. And this is ripped off straight from Return to Neverland. Hook's ship flies into Britain with no explanation and kidnaps Not Windy and makes a similar getaway. Return to Neverland was your source of inspiration? So after playing with the British Air Force for a while, the pirates suddenly remember, oh yeah, we have a button that makes us go straight up, duh. So off they go, making the last action sequence completely unnecessary and pointless. And Oliver finally turns into Gravity.
Stone requesting faster transport to Bay Area. Explorer, do you copy?
They weren't going to include this gag. They thought it was far too stupid to be put in the movie. But no, they said, we have to have that 3D chicken egg in this movie. So the frigate ascends to this planet and finds itself in Neverland. A fade to black would have been better, literally leaving it to the imagination of how they actually get to Neverland would have been better than that strange manner of transition. So Peter is on a flying ship, and like the audience, has no idea of what just happened or what is going on. And what is that noise? What do you say to this? You're hearing this, right? You are seeing this, right? I am not the only one, right? This has to be the weirdest, most bizarre musical that comes completely from nowhere. I have seen weird musical numbers from nowhere. I have seen the big-lipped alligator. I have seen the singing lizard. I've seen the two-headed dragon. But this one just takes the cake, and most of the cast seems as confused as we are at this scene.
Kneel!
I don't kneel to anyone.
Oh, you kneel to him. He's the pirate all pirates fear.
Blackbeard. It makes me...
Why are you wearing that?
I found it hard, so hard to find. Oh well, whatever.
Are you a clown?
Never mind. Hello, hello. When the lights out, it's as dangerous.
You're a clown.
Here we are now. Hesitate us.
Blackbeard is a clown. This is supposed to be the villain. Blackbeard, the clown. He's not intimidating, scary, and he spends most of the movie not knowing what the movie is supposed to be about.
My laws are so simple you could write them on a pig's ear. In fact, I have.
I believe that falls under the category of telling us something is funny does not automatically make it funny. Except when I said that this movie panned. Oh, come on! So Blackbeard reads off the rules written when the writers were half asleep.
Oh, the brooding majesty of my disapproval!
Did someone forget to say cut? Did they just happen to leave the camera on and catch this little scene and left it in the movie? You really are a clown. So now that the movie is done being high school what the heck was that, it turns into holes. I thought this was Peter Pan.
Sam Smeagol, supervisor.
Thank you for introducing yourself, obvious Peter Pan reference.
Smee. What about me?
And to his credit, he is the only one that remotely tries to be like the character he's supposed to be portraying.
Did no one explain?
Finally, someone explained something in this movie.
For these little chaps, fairy dust otherwise known as Pixum.
What does he want it for?
You have no idea. No one knows. No one's allowed to know.
Including the audience. No, really, we never find out what it is used for. Is it used to make the ships fly? I don't know. He never says. No one ever says. He just wants the stuff because reasons.
Hey, new kid. You just got here on a flying pirate ship.
Who is this cowboy? Well, he and Peter spend the next scene constantly contradicting themselves as the plot can't figure out whether the cowboy cares or not.
Thanks very much.
Don't thank me. I don't care about you.
Then why did you fix his pick?
I'm not your friend, and I haven't got your back.
Then why did you just give him advice?
Shoo, kid.
Why are you even talking to him in the first place? Make up your mind, movie! So the plot decides it's time for Peter to get into trouble again, to move the plot, I use the term loosely, along. Do they take an hour out of the day to teach them all these songs they have to sing on cue? After some ridiculous trial by the pirate clowns, Peter is thrown from 100 feet in the air, but wouldn't you know it,
He can fly! He can fly! He flew!
Peter is dragged off to see the clown captain, who sees his potential
Drowning in sleep. Slow dream drowning.
or tries to spread his craziness into him. Or gives him a sword.
Until he was old enough to return and lead an uprising against me. A boy, so says the prophecy, who could fly.
Is he your enemy or is he not? Just look at Peter's face. He can't figure out if you're trying to entice him to the dark side or building up to kill him in some ridiculous fashion. So instead of killing the obvious threat, Blackbeard the Clown throws him in the prison. But guess who somehow manages to find his way into the cell next to his?
Who wants to know?
Now that's the sound of a blast cap I stuck to the other side. Set to go off in 30 seconds.
Are you trying to kill him?
On the island.
It's not negotiation, kid. Without me, you're stuck in this cell.
No, he's not. You put the blast cap outside. It's ticking down. He's getting out no matter what you say.
Okay, then we'll talk about it. Just move away from that wall before you get yourself blown up, all right?
So what's it gonna be?
Kid.
You have already set the charge. He's getting out no matter what you do. Why are you still trying to negotiate? So they're free of their cell and...
I'm gonna trust you. I need to know your name.
It's Hook. The name's James Hook. Happy?
Wait. That is Hook? The James Hook?
No.
No. You are pulling my leg, and I do not approve. Hook was a pirate with suave, sophistication, mannerisms, the work. Almost a gentleman pirate with some kind of decent middle-class upbringing. This is a rough and tough, roll around in the dirt cowboy. He's as far from being Hook as, well, a cowboy trying to play a pirate. So Cowboy Hook and Pan make their way out, recruiting Smee along the way. He was in the original, after all. They ride in the carriage and try to hijack one of the frigates. But things start taking a turn for the worse.
You have to do it now. Are you waiting for a formal invitation? Go now!
I'm afraid of heights.
What?
You must be joking. Ha ha ha! Peter Pan has a real problem with heights.
Peter releases the car, and after falling, they land on the conveniently placed pile of cushions and finally take over the ship.
Everyone stay calm. We're taking over the ship.
Aye, of us!
We cut to a brief moment of Blackbeard the Clown.
That boy makes it to the natives. You can forget any chance of us winning this war. All will be lost.
We'll find them, sir.
Why didn't you kill the boy if you knew he was destined to stop you? What's next is another ridiculous dogfight. just as unbelievably stupid as the last one. I can't take this scene seriously when the ships are doing barrel rolls in the air. Back to... What is this? You wanna explain what that was, movie?
Many times I am not to be disturbed when I'm at the rejuvenator!
No. We'll just file under that coming from nowhere and having nothing to do with anything.
But our best men are searching for him now.
I am surrounded by imbeciles.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
So the heroes have totaled their vehicle and decide to head to the natives' camp to request help. But not before they play with some terribly designed CG birds.
That's a never bird.
Am I supposed to be scared of these things? It's hard to be scared when they look like that and act like they can barely stand. But it's hard to laugh when they're obviously trying to eat people. What's with large beasts carrying people with string? Is that just the safest way to travel? But the birds are chased off by a white girl.
Only we find the natives.
No, that's a white girl. She's probably as lost as this movie. These are your natives.
Now you know why the red man's red.
You couldn't have found someone with a darker complexion? Actual Indians? You could have at least smothered everyone with makeup. It would have been as pathetic as the Eskimos from North, but at least it would have been better than this. So Hook fights their pale Indian fighter on a trampoline. Is trampoline fighting a new sport? Who came up with this? We watch another ridiculous fight sequence that is interrupted by Pan showing off his fancy necklace.
The little one. He wears the pan.
The chosen one?
Making the last fight sequence on the trampolines completely pointless. So the white Indians use a claymation tree to tell the history of Peter's parents.
Her name was Mary, the love of Blackbeard's life and his most prized possession. Night after night, the prince visited Mary, but when Blackbeard discovered them, he flew into a jealous rage. So in order to save her, the prince took human form. In human flesh, they can live only one day.
Then how did they have a kid? No, I don't want to know. Don't want to know.
Retreat to a hidden kingdom. They've remained there in hiding, unknown by Blackbeard, until a time when they can re-emerge and fight.
And my mother.
Is it all right to tell him all this nonsense?
Yeah. Peter wants to go to Pixie Hollow now, but...
Before we take you there, you must prove yourself to be Mary's son. When the third moon rises, he must fly.
4. Bare minimum for a decent pan.
I have suddenly realized something. Remember that old hag at the beginning? She stole Peter's letter to spite him. Why'd she let him keep the necklace? Did he cry every time they took it off as a baby? Or was it stuck to him? So Peter spends his time trying to fly over a pop song and is about ready to throw in the towel.
But you said that your mother left you.
Yeah, I lied. I do that sometimes. It's called being a grown-up.
You lied? How dare you? So what's the truth then?
Don't you share your thoughts with the whole class?
No, why have him lie about it at all if there's no secret truth? I don't think anyone in this movie knows what the plot is. We move on to Hook.
Well, I think it's called flirting.
No, that is called crashing and burning. White native is trying to talk serious and just passes through one ear and out the other of our cowboy.
I find your lack of being able to think of anything but trying to get into my pants very flattering.
But the clown pirates have found the village thanks to Smee's blundering and...
Tiger Lily!
Tiger Lily? You mean to say that the white girl is Tiger Lily? Wasn't she a kid? And not white? With her only line of dialogue, that Tiger Lily? We cut to Peter overlooking the attack on the village as... What's with all the colorful smoke? Are they having a battle or is it Mardi Gras? What? So when the native dies, they turn into a random color of smoke? What am I supposed to be feeling here? Should I be feeling intense or shedding a tear at the obvious massacre going on? Or should I be laughing at the cotton candy clouds? I cannot take this massacre seriously because of all the cotton candy clouds. But I can't bring myself to laugh at the cotton candy clouds because of the obvious massacre going on. Movie, these things do not mix. And check out this scene with the chief. After refusing to give away the location of Pixie Hollow,
death is the greatest adventure.
Death is the only adventure.
Bon voyage.
do I shed a tear? Do I laugh? What do I do, movie? So before the clown captain can turn Tiger Lily into a puff of smoke, Peter brings those ridiculous CG birds in to save the day, because this scene isn't ridiculous enough. So Blackbeard admits to killing Peter's mother, and the band makes their daring escape.
Because of you, the chief is dead.
Me was the rat.
He was your friend.
It's true, he wasn't the rat.
I supposed to know?
You should have known.
I'm sorry.
You should have known.
I'm sorry if I did something wrong.
I know you're upset at all, but could you people please try and make sense? Oh, you know you find his lack of any kind of class or charm flattering.
Pass through to get there.
Yeah?
Crocodiles. Afraid?
An obvious Hook reference. You know, you could have him start acting like Hook. If you wanted to make a prequel, it's all and good, but at some point, your characters need to start transforming into the characters we know. Like the cowboy needs to start becoming the suave pirate. He needs to become an arrogant brat. And she needs to get a tan. Or a spray tan. So they meet some crocodiles. They're saved by some mermaids with frozen faces. Smile! Look curious! Do something other than be boring faces! Time for a moment. And we're getting another flashback of the same event.
But Blackbeard didn't tell you the whole truth either. Deep breath.
You thought the claymation bit was hard to follow? I can't understand a thing that is going on with all these bubbles. And what did we find out? You said Blackbeard didn't tell the whole truth when he stabbed his mother. But that is exactly what happened. Was there a script, or were they just making it up as they were going along? They find a ship wrecked in the cave, get it flying in one night, and Hook splits for home and will totally not return for the climax. Peter and the Pale Indian travel to the entrance of the Pixie Kingdom, but surprise, the clowns are waiting for them. Now captured, the clown ship sails into the Hive of Fairies.
That's where we're going.
The Fairy Hive. Destroy that, and we destroy them all.
Wait, I thought you needed the fairies for your plan. What was your plan? The whole reason you wanted to come here was because the fairies were extinct on the rest of the island. So a bunch of fairies swarm the ship and just sort of hang out there. I thought Blackbeard wanted to destroy them. My head hurts from trying to follow this stupid story.
Her name's Tinkerbell.
Thanks, I never would have guessed. And with that, Tinkerbell is officially done in this plot, after doing nothing. And now we're back to killing the fairies. Make up your mind. But turns out that the cowboy didn't actually leave. Oh right, I forgot you were in this movie. No, really. When he popped into the screen, my thought was not, oh hey, Hook came back. It was, oh yeah, you were in this movie. He's so bland, I literally forgot he was in it the moment he was gone. Now, we get an actual good ship battle. I rather enjoyed this one, as there's no over-the-top flips or dives. It really feels like ships that fly. And Pale Tiger Lily goes toe-to-toe with Blackbeard the Clown. It feels like a wannabe Pirates of the Caribbean scene, but with ships that float on the air instead of the sea. If the other action sequences had been like this, it might have been a bit more enjoyable. So 1 out of 3 isn't bad, but it's still not good movie. Hook finds himself hanging around on a sinking vessel. We all know he's going to let go. So when he falls in there, is that his transformation to becoming the Captain Hook we all know? Pan jumps from the ship because he only flies when his life is in danger, and Pale Tiger Lily is captured, despite easily beating the snot out of all the clowns a moment ago. But Peter can fly and rescues Hook.
I can fly! Look at me, Hook, I'm flying!
All right, you don't have to crow about it. Crow all you want, just don't drop me!
So you can pick a mood. The build-up was good, the delivery was good, and they're not trying to throw some dark theme in there at the same time to confuse us. See, movie? You don't have to put comedy and serious moments in the same place. There's room for everything. This joke also reminds Pale Tiger Lily that,
oh yeah, these guys are easy to beat up. Hee hee hee.
And it also reminds the fairies,
oh yeah, we know how to fight!
You pixie devil!
And just like that, the fairies whomp the clowns. And Blackbeard goes down with little to no effort at all. So, why didn't the fairies do this in the first place? Why didn't they swarm the instant the clowns broke through? And don't say because the chosen one had to fly. That doesn't work. The fairies are obviously intelligent. They should know that they're in danger and have some way of defending themselves, chosen one or no. And frankly, Peter didn't really do anything but go, "Go, fairies, go." And why didn't the fairies do this in the first place? I am not repeating myself. I mean, why didn't the fairies just kick Blackbeard's sorry butt the moment he started hunting them? Years ago. They whip him so easily. I question why we were supposed to be scared of him in the first place. Why did the fairies have to go into hiding in the first place? If he and his goons are so easily defeated, why couldn't they have been defeated earlier? Were they singing those weird songs to scare the fairies off or something? And now, for the weirdest moment of this movie. Yes, weirder than that.
Mom?
You found me.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what is going on. Is she dead or is she not? Is this just a cruel trick by the fairies? Or do fairies have the ability to talk and materialize the dead? So with the movie wrapping up, it's time for recompense for the old hag. Peter gets his band of lost boys, Cowboy Hook and Pale Indian continue to stiffly flirt with each other, and the movie ends with the lamest joke imaginable.
We'll always be friends, Hook, won't we?
Always. What could possibly go wrong?
Okay, now it's the lamest joke imaginable. This movie is one long never-ending headache. The plot is... well, no one knows what the plot is. Just look at everyone's face. They're staring at the director in either disbelief or hoping for some kind of coherent plot. And most of the time, the movie is colliding with itself of what the tempo of the movie is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be a riveting comedy or a suspenseful adventure? These characters are dull. They're not interesting. And they're so far off from their original designs, I'm not even sure this is the same franchise. Why is Hook a cowboy? He was a cowboy at the beginning, and now it's over, he's still a cowboy. He has taken no steps to becoming Captain Hook at all. Pirate Fairy was a better Hook origin story. And that was a cheap cash-in on pirate popularity. Why is Tiger Lily pale? She is supposed to be the native, but the natives are paler than the pirates. That doesn't work. And for a movie called Pan, Peter Pan doesn't really do anything in the movie but pout. Aside from clumsily riding those dumb-looking birds and shouting, "Go, fairies, go," he doesn't do anything in this movie. Pan is not good. It wanted to be like Hook, but boring characters with a story written by Swiss cheese sinks this movie. Which, for someone that enjoyed the movie Hook, it's a shame to see this movie really didn't pan out. Oh, come on, that one was funny and you'll know it. I'm the Great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. Silence!